Hello, everybody. Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator. Welcome to my home in beautiful Tamarindo, Costa Rica. I'm going to give you my standard disclaimer. These 5 Minute Motivators are one-take wonders. Consequently, there's not a lot of post-production work on and maybe some texting, but that's about it. I bring that up because we are in the midst of high summer here, and there is a beautiful breeze blowing, which is wonderful for evaporating perspiration and making you feel relatively cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't do great for audio construction, and the end result is there may be some drops in audio, or you may hear some wind gusting, but that's okay. At least I think it's okay. The reason being is I've got some information to share with you. I do my best to distill this information into 5 minutes so I don't spend a lot of your valuable time on this, and just give you something to run away with and think about for the rest of today. So that's what we're working on. Today is part one of two parts called Irrational Thinking and Goal Setting. Now, I'm going to do this in two parts, primarily because this is the 5 Minute Motivator, not the 10-Minute Motivator, so I'm going to give it to you in two parts. But I want to, excuse me, a bee just kind of landed on my thumb. But I wanted to at least set up how the irrational thought process works today. And then tomorrow we're going to get into how it'll work in terms of setting goals for yourself, and actually how not to set goals for yourself. And this is a pretty important two-part series. While this first part may be somewhat humorous, I do want you to take it as seriously as possible, because I have seen over the course of my career so many individuals fall flat on their face by setting goals that have an irrational component to it. They set competing goals, and the end result is your mind can't metabolize those competing goals. Consequently, you fail at all of them. Note this well. Okay, how does the irrational thought process work? It's early Saturday afternoon. Little Johnny, 6 years old, he's sitting watching TV in his home. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, it's a beautiful day. He's flipping through the channels, and lo and behold, what comes on? An old Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Now, if you're all familiar with Nightmare on Elm Street, you remember Freddy Krueger, the guy with the screwed up face and the claws for hands. And I mean, when those movies came out, I was in my mid-20s, and they scared the hell out of me. So you can imagine what they would do to the average 6-year-old. Well, Mom comes in the room, sees little Johnny watching this, and she freaks out and says, "Johnny, you take this off, put something else on." And Johnny says, "No, I'm a big boy, I can watch this." And Mommy says no, and Johnny says yes, and the end result is eventually Mommy acquiesces and says, "You're going to have nightmares tonight." And Johnny says, "No, I won't, I'm a big boy." So Johnny watches Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's not a problem because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, come 6 o'clock, come 7 o'clock at night, the sun goes down, the shadows get longer, nighttime approaches, and now it's time for little Johnny to go to bed. Now, you know as well as I do what happens when you decide to go to bed after you've seen something frightening when you're a child. All of a sudden, those things come alive. So here's little Johnny in his bedroom right now. He's in bed, and all of a sudden, Freddy Krueger is no longer some type of an ephemeral image. He's alive, and he's well, and he's either in Johnny's closet or under his bed. And Johnny has to protect himself from the claws of Freddy Krueger. So what does he do? Well, he does what every child does. He takes the covers and puts them over his head. Because we all know as children that covers over our head is like monster kryptonite. It keeps us from being hurt by monsters, even though it's just a thin sheet. Well, little Johnny goes to sleep with the covers over his head. And Dad comes in the room to kiss little Johnny goodnight. Sees the covers over his head. Dad is worried about Johnny smothering. Pulls the covers down. Daddy says, "I want to leave the." Johnny says, "I want to leave the covers up," and Dad says, "No, I don't want those covers over your head. You'll smother," which is still a complete fallacy, also. Anyway, now Johnny has two enemies he's dealing with. One is Freddy Krueger. Covers over the head saves him. One is his father. Covers down saves him. What does little Johnny do? Over the head, safe from Freddy. Down, safe from Daddy. Over the head, down. Over, down. Over, down. Over, down. Little Johnny is in the middle of an irrational thought process. What does he do? Yeah, eventually he just pees the bed. That's how irrational thought processes work. Little Johnny was kept and was put in the middle of this irrational thought process of being afraid of Freddy and being afraid of Daddy's wrath. Now, if you can put that into context to what we are going to do tomorrow, is look at how that exact same irrational thought process works for goal setting. This is Bill Shaka thanking you for attending another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.